Good morning everybody, and today with Ginny Red we are going to be looking at my manga choices of the month, of the week, of the month probably. But these are the ones I've read fairly recently and I've really enjoyed. The first one I'm going to talk about is Platinum End. Now I have the number 1, 2 and 3 of these, but I think they've got a lot more out at the moment. I'm not sure, I think they might have an anime series, but I can't guarantee that because I don't know for sure. All the time I sometimes pick up manga that I've never read before because I quite like the story plot on it or something. I like to get stuff, new stuff out, which is quite nice. This one is really good. It's basically about these 12 people who have been picked by angels to become the next god. It's very odd. You have to like fight to the death almost to a god, and depending on what angel you have, you get certain extra powers. Like if they're like a higher class angel, they get better things, and etc, etc. Really interesting, and the cover is like super nice. It's like shiny and stuff as well, which is really nice, and I'm just really loving it right now. I've only got, like I said, I've only got up to episode 3, up to manga 3, so I will have to obviously get the next ones, but I really like this one and I do recommend it. It's definitely a different kind of story, different storyline, and the main protagonist, this guy, Mirai, very odd character, but quite interesting, fairly likeable. That's my first choice, or not necessarily first choice, but the first one I picked up from my pile. Another one that I really liked is as far as I'm aware, it's just a small book on its own, but it's called All Gods Lie. And it's a really cute story about 2 young friends. It's basically about this young boy here who makes fun of this girl, and she's actually like living alone with her younger brother and looking after him, and he lies about what he's doing over the summer to spend time with her, and it's their story, and they figure out, and you basically are figuring out what's going on with her, and you sort of realise that she's obviously very neglected in terms of her family and well-being. She's not particularly, from what I can tell, there is absolutely no adults in her life at the moment, except for like an absentee father she talks about briefly, but nothing major, and she talked about her grandfather previously, but there's a really big, oh my god, I can't believe that. It's just a one-time thing. I don't think there's any more from it. I don't think there needs to be more from it. It's just a perfect little manga just on its own. And I really enjoyed it. It's really cute. And if you want to borrow it, check the comments below and I'll probably lend it to you. This one I absolutely love. I love the concept of it. It's amazing and it's really funny. It's got a really good plot and the characters in it are good. And it is The Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime. Yes, that is the working title. That's exactly what it is. And honestly, it's so good. This is obviously the slime guy. This, I believe, is Veldora, which is the dragon in human form, which I don't think you actually see in the book. But it's basically this guy who, at the very beginning, he's a 30-year-old virgin and he gets stabbed protecting his other co-worker from being stabbed. And he's like dying, like, oh great, I'm dying. And then while he's dying, he's saying, oh god, I'm still a virgin. Oh, I should be a great sage because, you know, they say if you live till 30 without being a virgin, you become a sage. And he goes, oh, if I'd only lived till 35, I could have been a great sage. And by doing that, he sort of like almost grants himself, that's like he's allowed to grant himself powers, or he asks what he wants and he gets it for his next life. And he says, oh, blood's so bad, I need something, I don't want to have this blood problem because obviously he's bleeding out. So he gets, he has no blood, so he doesn't need blood, and that's why he becomes a slime. And he also asks to be a predator because he never got to be with any of the ladies. So, no, he never got to be in the ladies. I'm going to get all the ladies, so he gets the power Predator, which is really funny. Honestly, it's so good, and I've got 1 and 2. I want to get them more, but I think there's only 3 out at the moment, but they're so good, so funny. And I love it, and his character's so good. And he's just sort of like, yeah, whatever, just chill, and he just does stuff, and like, he doesn't eat the dragon, but he helps this dragon to escape from her prison. And he writes, at the end, you have like a little script of what he's saying, and he's just like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's wasting all my powers, he's doing this, and he's all over the place. And Veldora's obviously just observing because he's technically trapped in his like world and can't escape because of a curse. And it's just really good, it's really funny, and I can't wait for the next one because I want to read it. Finally on my list is Erased, which I know is an anime series. It's a very good anime series. Now, Erased follows this girl, and because it's on the other page, and this boy here. He is the protagonist. What happens to him is that in his life, he has been able to almost go back in time by about, 5-10 minutes maybe, or a couple, really small increments of time. So when something goes wrong, like at the very beginning, you see him go back in time because a boy gets hit by a car and I believe maybe dies or just injured, and he goes back like a minute or so behind, and he has to then assess everything really, really quickly and realise what needs to change, what he needs to do to stop the accident happening. And sometimes he ends up getting himself hurt doing it. He obviously goes back in time to those things and tries to fix what's wrong. So in this instant, what happens is his mum's coming over. His mum's she's nice, but she's a bit odd. I can't remember what the word he used for it. I have no idea. Anyway, he goes back and instead of going back in time, like, his mum gets murdered. He comes home and she's dead. And he's like, go back in time, telling himself to go back in time, but it doesn't work. And this one, he goes back in time a little bit to find the culprit, but doesn't go back much. And then he goes all the way back to his childhood, where he has to figure out what happened to this girl, because she went missing or she died. Either way, either one, she died or she went missing. And he has to try and help her, because it's her that's behind everything that's happened since. And so he has to go back in time to figure out who killed her, what happened, and how to prevent it. He has quite a few tries at it. Including, I think, one of his other friends maybe getting killed instead of her and stuff. So he has to sort of prevent it, and I think he nearly gets himself murdered because of it. There's a lot of this hidden from his life. Like, I don't think he remembers it all, and it's a lot of, like, the parents tried to protect their kids when she went missing and died. So there's a lot of like hush-hush about it, so there's not much information regarding what happened to her, and he almost has to like research it himself when he's in his like adult form. He has to research it in the future and then like goes back in the past, and it's really good. I've only got number 1. I loved it so much that I ended up reading the rest of it online, and I know there's also a series of it, so I'm hopefully going to be watching that soon, because I would like to see it in anime form as well. I don't know if the anime is actually finished, but I know the manga's completely finished and it comes to a conclusion. I need to get the next one. As far as I'm aware, I don't know when the next one is, but I love this story. It's so good, and I love it when there's actually a manga finished, because the worst part is getting a manga that's not finished and you're just like, what do I do with my life now? I don't know what happens. When will I ever know? And that's my problem with the slime one. It's not finished. It's so annoying. Why? Erased is really good. I loved it, and it's such a good manga, and I definitely recommend it to anybody. To my friends, if you want to borrow it, I will lend it to you, definitely. If anybody else loved any of the mangas I talked about today, definitely leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think of the manga. If it's good, bad, whatever you want to say, what you think of what your interpretation is. I hope you guys have a good day. I'm going to be chilling now because I've just done all my videos for next week, so I don't have to do any more for a while. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit me a comment down below if you like any of the mangas today, or if you have any suggestions of your own, because I'd love to read more. I love reading manga. I have a small collection, but I would definitely want more. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!